Hi everybody, I am Brittany, and this is the third time I've been sitting down to do this. So hopefully third time's a charm and this will be successful. So I'm coming to you a little bit later in the evening from St. Louis, Missouri, and I'm a mom of two little boys, and those two little boys really wanted to be in this video, and I love them, but they very much distract me. And I was like, you all probably would think that they were cute for like little chunks of time, but then when they want to show you all of their toys and talk about Easter, like it got a little long. So I was like, okay, well, that's really cute. And maybe, I was gonna say maybe I'll put some clips in of their, speech, but I don't know how to do that. So sorry, spoiler, probably won't, but maybe if I figure it out, I will. Let's see. I am Brittany. I think I already said that. But this is a knitting podcast. So I'll tell you all about what I have been making and what I plan on making. And then I have some acquisitions, again, this episode to fill you in on. So this is the end of April. We celebrated Easter in our household. We are not very religious people, but we got to do some different traditions, which was cute. I decorated the house for Easter. We had an Easter egg hunt in our front yard, which was super fun. Teddy is 3 and is at the age where he's starting to buy in to holidays and traditions and is getting really excited about those things, which warms my heart to say the least. So yeah, Easter egg hunt. We decorated Easter eggs. I made a big meal for dinner, and we made little cinnamon roll shaped like Easter bunny heads, which was super cute for breakfast. And then in the afternoon I made dinner. And I got an idea from actually another knitting podcast who just happened to be talking about food, which is definitely part of my love language. I love food. I love talking about food. I love hearing about food. Hence why I like to share with you different recipes. But, maybe that should be my recipe. Maybe. Yeah, I could do that. Okay, so for Easter dinner, the ladies from We Share Needles podcast a few episodes ago were just talking about marinating and cooking a ham in Coca-Cola, which sounds really kind of gross, but kind of good at the same time. So I tried that out and it was wonderful. It cooked really well. The ham was moist and delicious, and we had pineapple and cheddar side dish to eat with the ham, which was also really good. Some green beans. We made scalloped potatoes. My mother-in-law made a lemon meringue pie. All in all, super delicious, super fun day, and now I have it documented. What did we do on Easter of 2023? So next year I can do some more tradition stuff. So that's good. All right. So hopefully all of you have been having a wonderful April, and on to the knitting things. So what am I wearing? I have a knitted item on. This is the Soho top by Kadri, and it is a tank top. Let's see if I can do a little side that has a little faux seam up the side, and kind of not quite a boat neck, but kind of a wider neck. I do have a bra on underneath this, and it does a pretty good job of hiding those straps. I mean, you can sort of see them, but not very often. It has a nice little I-cord, I think that's what this is, an I-cord edging on the neck, around the armhole, and then also on the hem. So I'm in a rocking chair, so you might see a little bit of a rock. It is a fairly cropped design. It kind of billows out on my back a little bit, but that might be just the way that I'm standing right now. But super cute. Definitely like it. Would recommend this pattern wholeheartedly. 10 out of 10. Found the instructions super helpful, super engaging. It is a garter stitch all over. And one of the things that the pattern said was that a garter stitch, as you're blocking, might grow lengthwise a lot. So I was super careful when I was blocking it. However, I did not experience that like lengthening. So mine's a little bit more cropped than maybe what I would have been going for. However, cropped things are in style right now. So I don't think I'm gonna adjust it. I might block it again and just see how it goes. This one actually has seen its time outside of my house, unlike some of the other things I've knitted. So looking good for the summertime. I think I'm gonna wear this a lot. The yarn was by Pearl Soho. It's called Sweetgrass, and it is in their rye flower colorway. I would totally knit one of these again. Definitely. 10 out of 10 recommend. Stamp of approval. So that's number one. Number two, I finished another object, so I'll wear this one next time. But this is the Trunk Island tank, and I showed it to you on the needles in the last episode, but it is completely off. I have not blocked this yet, and I have not worn it, but it is a little like V-neck mirrored on the front and on the back, and you tie the little straps into bows, and the triangle that's up here has this nice little connected strap. The strap is rolling in on itself quite a bit, but I actually kind of like the diameter, or the width rather, the width of the strap once it is rolled in. So I don't really know what I'm gonna do when I'm blocking that, but this is it. So what do I have to say about this? This was not my favorite project to knit. I did really like the yarn. So this is also from Pearl Soho. This is their cattail silk in the colorway Flower Field Gray. And I think the yarn was great. If you are not a huge fan of cotton, I didn't have any issues with this. I thought it was pretty okay, but I might just be okay with cotton. And I liked the little side seam detailing. So you can see it when I flip it inside out. It gives it just a little bit more structure to that side. The pattern was short. So I don't know if it was just me and the fact that I did not have as much experience knitting tank tops. I mean, this is my second sleeveless garment, but I think I messed some things up. So in the center kind of V area, I have this happening, which might just be what happens, which is fine, but it is pulling a little bit, which I don't think really is gonna bother me a whole lot, but I did notice that there were other people that had that same effect there. And then I had the same kind of thing happen on the underarm, so right here on the garment. And that I had to like sew down. So I don't know, I thought I was following the pattern the way that it was written, but I don't think that was really supposed to be happening. And maybe the V should be happening, but you'll see like I have it kind of tacked down and it doesn't look doesn't look perfect there, but maybe with blocking that'll go away. But I will wear that next time just so you can see what it looks like on. I don't think I would make that one again. So what I'm finding about myself is that I don't love knitting things bottom up. So this one, top down, loved it. The Trunk Island tank, bottom up. And it has nothing to do with the way that it ends up fitting, but it makes me worried every time. Like, I just would hate to be knitting something and then miscalculate and have something that's like really cropped. And then what do? If it's top down, you're probably going to end up needing to tear it out and then knit, that section again. I guess you could, in theory, pick up at the bottom and knit up, pick up at the bottom and then like keep knitting it, but I don't think that would really work. I don't know. It makes me nervous every single time. And I think it fits beautifully. The instructions and the dimensions of everything were fine for my body, shapes and measurement, but makes me nervous every time. So I think I'm gonna like refrain from bottom up things. The other thing is I love knitting in the round. So this had some flat knitting. This felt like more flat knitting, even though it really wasn't, because you were only knitting a triangle, and on this one you were knitting basically the entire top of the garment all the way to the bottom of the sleeve. But I don't know. I'm ready for some in the round, which brings me to my work in progress, which this pattern is the Sunday Tee by Petite Knit. And I love this thing so far. So really nice construction. I'm in the round for days and days and days, it feels like. And sleeves are in the round. So maybe I just like knitting sleeves. I'm probably in the minority there for sure. But this has been working out great. I tried it on and it fits well, which always makes me happy. The sleeve has a little detail here where you fold it under and then you like sew it down. So you end up with this like nice little, not rolled edge, but like a double width kind of fabric right around the hem of the sleeve. And I haven't done that yet, but when I tried it on, the sleeves were a little bit shorter than, like right now they look perfect, but once I roll that in, they might be a little bit too small. I don't love a really like capped sleeve. I like them coming down a little bit further, and in the pattern photos, they look really long, which mine didn't do that. So I measured it according to the pattern, but I don't know if she maybe wanted you to measure from, I don't know, here, and I was measuring from up here and out. That might have been it, but it's pretty significantly more cropped because hers come down like there. Mine aren't doing that. So I might pull it out and do it again, or maybe not. We'll see. We'll see how we decide later. It's a cliffhanger. It's a knitting cliffhanger. What should I do? If you have strong feelings, put it in the comments. I'll take it under advisement. So those are the things that I've been working on, and I have quite a few projects in the wings. They are waiting for me, but that's it. I'm pretty monogamous in general when it comes to really life. My husband would definitely want me to say that. Yes, in life, monogamous. It's good for me. I don't know where I'm going with this, guys. See, I think doing this later in the day, I've worked all day and I'm a little loopy. So we might be learning more life lessons this episode. But okay, so what I've been wearing, works in progress, finished objects, all done, acquisition time. So I'm doing another unboxing. It was so good I waited for all of you. So do I remember what I bought? Do I remember the colorway that I bought? I don't know. I don't know if I did. Ooh, I forgot to tell you yarn on this. So I showed it to you last time, but it is the Drops Saffron. And I don't think they have a colorway on the actual button band, color 57. And I really like this yarn. And I got it from Wool Warehouse in the UK. And I ordered it online, and I had never touched it before, and it made me nervous to do that. However, the price point on this is fantastic. The quality of the yarn, I have been very impressed with. The whole ordering process, easy peasy, smooth sailing. I'm gonna order more drops. I am just gonna wait for them to have a sale, because they have sales, and that's how I actually got this. They were having a sale on all Drops cotton blends, or if it wasn't all of them, there were a lot of them. And I went on Ravelry and I said Drops cotton, and I looked at different projects where people had used it, and I was like, oh, I wanted to make a lot of these. So it felt serendipitous to me. So next time that happens, I will order more Drops. I'm really curious to see about their Kid Silk mohair blend. I don't really know what that's called, but I think it's called Kid Silk. And yeah, Flora, Drops Flora, I'm interested in. I just keep hearing all of these European podcasters talk about their yarn, and I'm a little jealous. Maybe not jealous. I'm curious. And I want to know more about it. So next time there's a sale, I will be purchasing some things, because y'all, yarn is expensive. And I love Pearl Soho, and they have sales all the time. That's part of the reason why I have been knitting so much with them. But other yarn, it's out of my budget a lot of times. So acquisitions. As I'm talking about spending money and trying to not do that, it's all good. So I bought some yarn from Lion Brand, and if you are somebody that doesn't like a whole lot of crinkling, I apologize. So what did I buy? I'm just gonna see if they actually had a price. You know, they never put prices on like the receipts in the the packaging information anymore. Probably because once you get it, you don't remember how much you paid for it. And then if you don't like it, you can't be like, oh, I paid $200 for that, I should return it. Because you don't remember how much you paid. I think that's what they're doing. But anyway, that does not have a price on it, but it was very reasonable. This is the LB collection, and it's called Cotton Jeans. I got the color 153 Black, and it's looking pretty true to color there. It's like black with some definite like gray speckles. It kind of looks a little bit more blue, but as I said, the lighting in here, it's fading because it's almost 6 p.m. already. But I got 6 of these, and I'm going to make that sweater that I talked about last time. And that was the League of Their Own sweater that I never wrote down, and then I had to edit in what it was actually called, which I will do again. So that is my plan for this yarn. And just off the cuff, this is beautiful colorway, and I like the feeling of it. So you might be wondering, what weight is it? It says 3 light. It is 218 yards and size 6 needles, US is what it recommends. And then I think if it's called Cotton Jeans, it's probably cotton, right? Maybe? I don't think it actually says the, the yarn content on there at all. Machine wash, lay flat to dry. No idea, but it feels cottony. It doesn't feel like there's any wool in this, honestly. But I think that's gonna be a fun little summer, spring, early fall, kind of, no, maybe late fall, sweater to wear. So it has this cute little like X sweatshirt kind of detailing on it and super cute, top down. So I'm looking forward to that. For later. I don't know when I'm going to get to that. I'm trying to get through, that sounds bad. I am trying to prioritize my spring and summer knitting first so that then I have them to wear throughout the season. And then once those are done, I would like to transition more to my fall and winter knitting ideas and projects. Don't hold me to it though. I am fickle and I change my mind all the time. So, all right, acquisition 1. Acquisition 2, this is more crinkling because it is in a bag. Ooh, I like this, everybody. Okay, so Pearl Soho sale. And I've just been very impressed with their yarn. This is Cotton Pure, which I've never knitted with before. That is maybe blowing out a little bit. This is a light purple color, like the palest purple imaginable. It definitely has some pink undertones to it. This is Cotton Pure, like I said, and 279 yards. US size 3 to 5 is recommended, made in Peru. The colorway is Lavender Rose, and ooh, that's named perfectly from my description, wasn't it? It's a light purple with a pink undertone. Yes, Lavender Rose would be a wonderful name for that. And I got 4 skeins of this lovely colorway. What am I going to make with this? That is a wonderful question. I had a project in mind. Do you think I remember what project that is? No, but I'm sure it's on my Ravelry. I think that this was going to be a sweater. Which sweater, may you ask? I don't remember, but I will put the link in for what I was thinking about doing with this. One of my goals this year was to knit from different designers and kind of get a feel for what I like and maybe what I don't love as much. And I'm trying to do like a variety. So mostly so far it's been fairly well-known designers. Like I had never knit Petite Knit before, so that seemed like a no-brainer. Like I should probably do that. The League of Their Own is Two Wands, which she is a line brand designer or collaborator. She has a ton of patterns, but I've never knit one of hers either. Kadri, I believe I've knit at least one other garment of hers, and I love her pattern writing and style. It makes a lot of sense to me. So she's not new, but she's a beloved favorite. So I think that's okay too. And then like littler known pattern designers, I'm not opposed to that by any means. If something comes across my way, I would love to try them out too, but I wanted to spread the love around a little bit more than what I had. So more knitting chat and then recipe and like little book talk. So plans. The Midwest Fiber Festival starts tomorrow, and it is in a suburb of St. Louis called Kirkwood at one of their community colleges, or maybe it is a just like tiny college. I'm not sure which. But I went last year. It was the first time that they had ever hosted a yarn festival, and it was actually my first time ever attending a yarn event like in a space. So I've done yarn crawls before, like several times, but I've never gone to like an actual yarn festival. And it was wonderful. I very much enjoyed it. I took a class on stranded color work, and the instructor was fantastic. I walked away learning a lot. It actually was the class that convinced me that I really needed to become a continental knitter. And their marketplace was very nice as well. It wasn't super crowded. A lot of times I hear like Vogue Knitting Live or even Rhinebeck, I think are probably the two that I hear about the most. And they're like, oh, it's so wonderful. It's so fantastic. It's so great. There's so many people. And I don't mind people, but crowds can annoy me sometimes. So I am a person that is somewhat oblivious when I'm shopping, according to my husband. I just like, I'm doing my thing, and then there are people around me, and I don't always necessarily notice like the lady that's waiting for me to like scoot in because she needs to get her cart by. So I'd probably be a very frustrating person to others at a yarn festival. Or I would be like hyper aware and wouldn't even go into the booth because I would be like, there's too many people and I want to browse and I don't like it. But that does not happen at the Midwest Fiber Festival, or at least it didn't last year. And that starts on Friday. So Friday is the marketplace opening up. And for anybody that enrolled in a class, they have like an early access pass to the marketplace, which I think is a fantastic idea for other festivals, maybe to emulate, just because it gives people an opportunity to maybe experience the marketplace in a smaller setting. I don't know if I'll go on Friday. On Saturday, I enrolled in 2 classes. So my first one is about steeking. So I've never steeked a garment before, or anything for that matter. So I was curious about that process. And of course, I know YouTube has like 1,000 tutorials about things, but I thought it might be good for me just to have somebody right there who, as I'm like making that cut, they can say, no, don't do, what are you doing? So it seemed pretty low stakes and an easy class for me to take. And then the other class is about fixing issues in knitting. So I'm thinking about maybe bringing that Trunk Island tank and just seeing what they think might have happened there. If it was a me thing, it might have been a me thing. So I thought that would be good. I have never really like looked at, like if I drop a stitch, I just kind of like, but I don't know if I do that right. I have no idea. It looks fine. So if it looks fine, it's probably fine. But I like to know the right way to do things. I'm one of those people. Even though there are many right ways to things, right ways to do things, I like to know the right way to do things. You're learning all sorts of things about me today. All right, and then, yeah, so I'm excited about those 2 classes. They had to do a lot of swatches for them. I didn't bring any of my swatches, but I'll show you maybe next time. At least my steeked one. My little first steeked project. Okay, so what else? Yes, so that is my Friday. Saturday, I'm gonna go see the Judy Blume movie with some friends Friday night, so that should be good. And yeah, we're in the busy part of my work life, and hopefully I can keep it together and not get so loopy in the afternoon anymore. That would be wonderful as well. Okay, other things. I will share the Coke recipe. That was wrong. I will share the Coca-Cola marinated ham recipe that I used here, and I'll put a link below. Once again, it turned out super good. I very much enjoyed it. If you haven't tried that kind of technique before, I would give it a shot. My family liked it. And then as far as books that I've been reading, I finished the Poisonwood Bible, and I already talked quite a bit about that. It was a very well written book. It made me think about a lot of things. My husband is a world history buff, so I was asking him about the Congo and South Africa and all of the different things that were happening in the Belgian Congo, and because I missed out on world history of South African countries. So he was filling me in on all of that, and apparently the book is very accurate in his opinion of what was actually happening politically in that region of the world during that time. So that was actually fascinating to learn about. And there are some characters there that drove me crazy. So the way that the book is written, you get to hear different perspectives from the different members of the family. And there are a lot of books that have done that at this point. And what I find with books that are written in that style is that sometimes somebody comes up and I don't want to hear about their story. I don't want to hear about their perspective, right? And I'm like, oh, okay, get back to the people I like. But this book, I had people that I very much disliked. And I'm not going to go too far into it because I don't want too many spoilers there in case you do decide to read it. But there is one character who is so self-centered and just a horrible person. And every time I got to their chapter, I didn't want to skip through it. I wanted to know what was going to happen to them. It was one of these situations where I was like, I'm still fascinated by this person's story. What are they going to do next? And that in and of itself, I think is just a crowning achievement for an author, because I don't think I have read any other book that I've actually cared about all of the characters, even if I hated them. So, way to go, Barbara Kingsolver. I understand why you are an award-winning author, for sure. With that being said, it was a hard book for me to read at this time of year just because of my mental bandwidth. So I find myself gravitating towards easier knitting projects, easier knitting patterns, more during this kind of April, May kind of time frame. And that just makes sense to me. I don't know, it's a busy time of year for me. So the Poisonwood Bible was a little bit much for me at points. I was like, okay, I just want a fluffy reading, and that's not fluffy reading. So just keep that in mind if you do decide to read it. I think it's wonderful. I learned a lot. It made me think a lot, and that's fantastic. But if you need a fluffy read, not a fluffy read, but really good. And I started a few other books, and hopefully I'll have another one done to talk to you about next. So that's it, guys. A little chat, a little life update, a little knitting. It's all of the things. So I will see you all next time. Have a wonderful end to April. Bye, everybody.